Morning, everybody, and welcome to the Cabinet meeting. I would just like to pay tribute today at the meeting of the sad passing of Councillor Stan Wade. Stan was an amazing councillor that I really looked up to when I joined this council in the early 80s. And it's so very, very unusual to have an ex-councillor who has a grandson and their son on our council serving today. So our thoughts go to the family, and I hope to do some more work with the chairman next week at the full council to pay a true tribute to Stan. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all members of the Cabinet, other members of the council and officers in attendance at today's Cabinet meeting on the 17th of February 2021. Welcome to members of the public and press who may be watching the meeting live on YouTube. I'm Councillor Barry Rickman, Leader of the Council and Chairman of the Cabinet. Please note that this meeting is being broadcast live and will be available for repeated viewing. Please could all attendees follow the Council's ground rules for virtual meetings, which have been well circulated. In particular, to reduce feedback and background noise, please mute your microphone when not speaking. Only speak when invited to do so by me as Chairman, and please use the raise hand button in Microsoft Teams to indicate that you would like to speak, and remember to lower the hand once you began to speak. I'll be taking recommendations at today's Cabinet by consensus and at this meeting, but if a vote is required on a particular item, I will call each Cabinet member to vote in turn. In the event of any technical problems, there will be a short adjournment to establish if the fault can be addressed. Please bear with us in these circumstances. If an individual loses connection and the meeting can practically continue with a quorum, it will do so. For the benefit of those viewing the meeting, I will now call the name of each Cabinet member and ask them to identify themselves as being present at today's meeting. As I previously mentioned, I'm Councillor Barry Rickman, Leader of the Council and Chairman of the Cabinet. And first of all, my Deputy, Councillor Edward Heron.
Good morning, Chairman. I'm Councillor Edward Heron. I'm Deputy Leader of the Council and Portfolio Holder for Planning and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Edward. Councillor Diane Andrews.
Good morning, Chairman. Portfolio Holder for Community Affairs.
Thank you. Jill Cleary.
Good morning, Chairman. Jill Cleary, Councillor for Housing Services.
Thank you. Councillor Michael Harris.
Good morning, Chairman. Michael Harris, Councillor for Cabinet Member for Economic Development.
Thank you. Councillor Jeremy Heron.
Good morning, Chairman. Councillor Jeremy Heron, Portfolio Holder for Finance, Investment and Corporate Services.
Thank you. Councillor Alison Hoare.
Good morning, Chairman. Councillor Alison Hoare here, Portfolio Holder for Environment and Regulatory Services.
Thank you. And finally, Councillor Mark Steele.
Morning, Leader. Councillor Mark Steele, Portfolio Holder for Health and Leisure.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you. Other members of the council in attendance will be recorded in the minutes of this meeting. So there are no apologies. We have a full Cabinet. Item 1. Cabinet members, please indicate if you have any matters to raise on the accuracy of the minutes of the meeting of the 3rd of February. Otherwise, I will take those as read for signing. Thank you. Item 2, declarations of interest. Do Cabinet members have any declarations of pecuniary or any other interest in respect of the business of this meeting? Can I just remind you that all members of the Cabinet have been granted the necessary dispensation in relation to the annual budget for 2021 at item 6. Are there any other declarations? Okay, thank you very much. Item 3, there are no public participation today. So item 4 is COVID-19 response and my up-to-date report. Just pausing there to see if okay, I don't have an image, Bob. Can anybody see anything other than that?
Afraid not, Chairman.
No,
Okay.
Chairman.
Okay. Bob, do you want to say anything to me, or shall I just progress? Thank you very much. Okay, This is just bring you as up to date with might be happening now.
Ah, yes.
I have it, Chairman. Yep.
Right.
Yes,
Thank you very
Chairman.
much. It's there. Fantastic. Okay. Report to update you on the COVID item. COVID-19 update. The importance of staying at home and reducing your contact with others remains the best action you can take to save lives, but there now really does appear to be a light ahead. The Prime Minister will unveil his roadmap for ending England's lockdown restrictions this coming Monday. Progress with COVID vaccinations continues, with everyone in the top 4 priority groups having now been offered a vaccine dose. Thank you again to all NH staff who are part of the vaccination programme locally, and to the many volunteers who continue to offer invaluable support and assistance. Update with the Council. Currently, there are 2 staff who have COVID and 2 staff are self-isolating out of the 1,234 employees. In addition to 9 staff who are clinically extremely vulnerable and cannot work from home. Can I thank at this point our council staff who continually work tirelessly throughout this whole process. 15 million has been paid out to local businesses through the government's back in business support scheme during the winter lockdown. This week, Hampshire County Council approved funding to support the rollout of short-term programme for 6 weeks of community testing for those with symptoms. The appointment-only scheme is aimed at Hampshire residents who travel regularly outside their home for work and who are not covered by an existing workplace scheme. Subject to government approval, 11 community testing sites, 1 per district, will begin operation commencing on the 22nd of February. In the New Forest, the location is Totton Health and Leisure Centre, and I would like to thank particularly our staff who've been part of making that possible. Can I finally say, please, to everybody watching, all members of the council, please look at the updates and information that are regularly on our website, and we will keep the best information we can there. Thank you very much. Okay, I'd like to go to item 5 now. Housing Revenue Account Housing Public Sector Capital Expenditure Programme for 21-22, and ask Jill Cleary, the portfolio holder, to introduce the paper, please. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you, Chairman. Members, I'm very pleased to introduce this Housing Revenue Account budget for 21-22. As members will see, we are continuing to invest significant sums in maintaining our council dwellings. This coming year will see us spending over £11 million on ensuring our tenants' homes get the new bathrooms, kitchens, windows and roofs they deserve in order to maintain the decent home standards. This coming financial year, we are also planning to spend a further £13 million in acquiring and developing new additional council homes as part of our strategy of bringing on board 600 new council homes by 2026. The budget proposes a rent increase of 1.5% in line with government's recommendations. This is the second increase in rents following the 4 years of rents being reduced. The average increase in rents is proposed as part of this budget will be £1.51 per week. Members will understand the importance of being able to ensure that we maintain our council homes in good condition and are able to react with tenants' needs, our maintenance service and attend to repairs. Looking after and maintaining over 5,000 council properties is a big undertaking, and this budget delivers all these important services for the ultimate benefit of our tenants. But members, we're not going to stop there. As members will know, through an excellent work of the Council's Greener Housing Task and Finish group, we are striving ahead in terms of the green agenda, and I am delighted that we have been successful in obtaining over £250,000 to install heat pumps to eligible tenants who do not have mains gas. We're determined to play our part in reducing our carbon emissions in all that we do as a housing authority. Members, with this budget, I believe we have struck the right balance. I would also like to draw members' attention to the words of our own tenants' representatives set out in the report, who say that they feel the decisions being made by senior managers are appropriate and sensible, and the direction of travel is considered to be positive. The Tenant Involvement Group supports the content of the HRA report, budget and capital expenditure programme for 2021 to 22. Members, I commend this housing revenue account budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cleary. And personally, may I thank you for your dedication to this whole amount of work. Everybody's nodding. We all know what goes on in the background, but it culminates in the report today. So I'm just going to pause if there are any questions, because if they're not, I'd like to take the Cabinet to the recommendation on page 5. Okay. Councillor Alison Hoare. You're muted, Alison.
Thank you, Chairman. I wanted to thank Councillor Cleary and all the housing team, not just for the massive improvements they are making to our council homes, but for their environmental improvements. With the new air source heat pumps, not only are our tenants getting warmer and greener homes, they will also be a lot cheaper to run. And I think it proves this council's commitment not just to our tenants, but also to the environment, and that every department within this council is looking at ways to reduce our carbon footprint, to protect our residents and the environment. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you very much, Alison, and thank you for emphasising the crossovers that are inevitably between portfolios. But thank you. Point well made. Okay, nobody else is indicating, so if I could just take the Cabinet to the recommendations on 5 and ask if any Cabinet member wishes to vote against the recommendation. Otherwise, we'll take them. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Item 6 is the medium-term financial plan and annual budget for 21 to 22. Obviously, more details will come at the full council meeting, but if I go to Jeremy, first of all, for this paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Pleased to take you through the paper. Quite a lot of what I need to say is actually covered within the portfolio holders' comments, but if I could take you through the highlights.
Thank you.
Chairman, if you look at 3.3, you will see that we have a forecast budget deficit going forward into 24-25. This is not something that concerns me at this time, but it is something that's worth highlighting, that this council remains constantly under a fairly strong financial pressure, and we must look forward to innovative ways of dealing with that so that we can maintain frontline services. Chairman, if I take you through to section 5 of the report, this sets out the general fund budget for 2021, highlighting the requirements for the council tax in order to provide a fully funded budget. The budget at 5.2, it shows that the budget is based on the continuation of the current delivery model. Those are well aware that we are looking at a revised delivery model for leisure service. That has not been taken into account within this budget, as it's not yet been agreed or decided. So an important thing to take forward. The other thing I want to highlight was in 5.4, there was a headline increase by government of £2.2 billion. Just to point out that that's not quite as generous as perhaps one would hope, as 87% of that funding for councils was proposed to come through council tax, approved council tax increase. Taking us forward, Chairman, further into that, 5.C shows some of the additional pressures that this council is facing with the removal of the recycling credits, puts 280,000 onto our budget for the coming year. At 5.9, we come into the summary of the council's proposed council tax for the year. Chairman, at 5.91, you'll be pleased to see that we are proposing, even with our modest increase, that we will maintain our £3 million reserve so that we are in a position to adapt and to work with any changing circumstances that may come forward. Chairman, if I can reiterate part of the portfolio holder comments that I made, or rephrase them. Chairman, this council does face financial pressures, and as we go forward, we must look at 21st century ways of delivering those solutions. We cannot look back, we must look forward if we are going to achieve a balanced budget, a prudent financial position, and continue to deliver all the services, not only at their current level, but at enhanced levels for our community. With that, I don't think I have anything to add. Happy to take questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeremy. It's sensible of you to highlight the times we live in. I can't ever believe I remember us needing to have about 3 goes at forming a budget during a year as the situation changed. And we'll be going on to item 7, health and leisure, later, but we have to be creative how we do things. And I thank you, Alan Bethune, and all the staff and members of the task and finish groups for the work they put in. And I know there's more work to do. Can I just take that then as a complete paper and take you to the recommendations on page 21? Just pause there for a second and see if there are any indications of questions. Okay, then fine. Can I ask the Cabinet members if anybody wishes to vote against the recommendation, please? Otherwise, we'll take that as an agreed. Okay, thank you very much. Item 7, health and leisure, review of the preferred bidder. Before I go to the portfolio holder, I want to just pause for a second to just say a big thank you to Mark, to Manjit, all the members of the council, of the task and finish group, of scrutiny, that have worked through this enormous piece of work. During the process, I believe there has been some misinformation out there being bandied about what it was we were trying to do. But indeed, today we are in a very good place to do the very best to keep the service going for residents of the New Forest, and also to look after the total budget of everybody else. With that, I'd like to go to Mark Steele, the portfolio holder, to introduce the report, please. Thank you, Mark.
No, thank you, Chairman. And good morning, Chairman, again, and members, and also members, indeed, of the public who may be viewing this on YouTube. I think importantly, as you all know, members, a petition was submitted and debated by full council at its meeting on Monday, the 24th of February 2020. And going back, I want to clarify, as you will see from this report, that the council will continue to own the health and leisure buildings. And as customers and staff have seen, Freedom Leisure is a very community focused company, and their proposals that they want to do is increase the community use throughput also in the district. So, I mean, we are not privatising our centres, and I am totally satisfied. I have fully considered this petition and fully support the recommendations of the report. Indeed, Chairman, I believe our vision for the health and leisure centres is affordable and accessible facilities, improving mental and physical well-being, sustaining, indeed, a service for future generations. And Chairman, I believe that Freedom Leisure, as our partner, will importantly deliver this vision. Their only purpose is to improve lives through leisure. So, Chairman, again, I've been very pleased with the customer and staff briefings and the feedback that we have received. I would have known that I would have very much wanted to have done that face to face, but I know that Freedom Leisure is the right partner to deliver and sustain the excellent health and leisure service we provide to our community. Chairman, again, the future of our community leisure centres is truly great. Given our unique impact on our society and as a positive force in our local communities that we serve importantly. Can I take this opportunity, Chair, to thank the Task and Finish Group for their support and indeed their patience. It has been a very thorough process. Can I also take the opportunity to personally thank the officers who have supported this project, in particular Manjit Sandhu, Alan Bethune, Cheryl Perry, Gary Jarvis, Joanne Bailey, and the key advisors. Well, as the key advisors, I must say. Additionally, the Task and Finish group, the project team, which included leisure centre managers Mark Jackson, Ross Archibald, and the managers also. I think I could go on from HR, legal and estates, but believe me, there's a lot of personal thank yous, and believe me, I would be shaking their hands if it was there on the day in person, because they have done. Chairman, I know you're looking at me and go, right, get on with it. I will. So, Chairman, we have a proposal in front of us, which provides security to the leisure centre provision across the district for the next 11 years. It is a proposal which invests in our leisure centres, and it is a proposal which significantly reduces the cost of the service to the taxpayer of the New Forest. Chairman, I commend the work of the Task and Finish group, and indeed all the officers, in getting us to this important point, and I wholeheartedly support the recommendations within the report. Chairman, thank you.
And thank you, Mark. Just before I go to other speakers, I just want to get the technicalities of this meeting correct. May I remind you that Appendix 5 of this report contains commercially sensitive information, which is exempt by virtue of paragraph 3 of Part 1 of the Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act of 1972. Therefore, if we need to discuss this, we will need to move into private session for that part. Please be mindful, everybody, that before speaking, I propose that I want to deal with the whole report, and we may not need to go there anyway, but just making sure that everybody is aware of that. Could I now please go to Councillor Blunden to just talk to the recommendations from the community panel? Councillor Blunden.
Yes, thank you, Chairman, and good morning. A rather long and lengthy meeting of the Community Data Scrutiny Panel on the 9th of February. The panel thoroughly considered each section of the report. The comments and suggestions were taken on board and noted. The concerns and questions were answered in detail, and particularly those from members of the opposition. If I can refer you to the recommendation of the panel, in summary, the panel felt that the proposals represented the best option for the sustainability of the District Council's leisure services and the health and well-being of the community. Chairman, I think actually an exciting future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Could I now go to Steve Clark, please, for the comments of the Chairman of Task and Finish Group? Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Just to reiterate what Mark Steele said, can I thank all members of the, all staff members, officers, for all the hard work they've done. I think people will be absolutely astounded at the sheer amount of detail and the amount of data that they've had to produce for the members of the Task and Finish group. It's an incredible amount of information, and even just analysing the contract details was almost mind-blowing in some respects. So the contract is actually so robust, in my opinion. So thank you to all the officers, and also can I thank the members of the Task and Finish group, because not only did they then have all that information presented to them, they had to read it. And I can assure you that all members of this council did read that material in detail. It was a good cure for insomnia on many nights. So having said that, I can now say with great confidence that we have reached and recommended a decision that is the best for our community. We always said that there was no done deal from a Task and Finish perspective, that we would look at the right outcomes for the people of the New Forest and the communities that use our leisure centres. And I am absolutely confident that Freedom Leisure will present that right outcome, and we will have a healthy and more prosperous future with our new management system. but it's a management system. I'll repeat what Mark said. We have not sold the leisure centres. We have gone into a partnership for success. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your confidence. I share it. The future of health and leisure will be so important as we draw away from the COVID situation. Right, I'm going to just take a few other comments now before I go to making a slight amendment to the recommendation, just to get everything right today. Councillor Diane Andrews.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to say how important this is to our community, not only to keep healthy, but as a byproduct of that, a healthier mental state.
Yes.
And this at this time is so important. And I can't tell you how much I endorse this. This is good for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane. Councillor Michael Harris.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, I don't want to sound like a scratch record with so many other comments coming from fellow Cabinet members, but I do have to add my voice to what is clearly a win-win situation for this council and, more importantly, for the people of the New Forest. I've been an elected member of this council for 10 years, and in that time, this is the most exciting development and outcome that I have witnessed. It's brilliant. People have thanked officers and thanked colleagues who've worked on task and finish groups. I would like to add my thanks to them as well, because it is an amazing outcome that we've achieved. This is going to be great. And I would actually like to say to the people of the New Forest, get your membership application in as quickly as possible, because there's going to be a queue.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more people wanting to take part in these fantastic things that are going to happen. We're bringing in partnership, expertise that we've not had before. The same staff will be working just as hard as they did before, but with new and invigorated efforts. It's going to be very exciting. Get your applications in soon, because otherwise you might be disappointed. Thank you, Chairman.
Good promotion. Thank you. Councillor Jeremy Heron.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to say this is exactly the sort of thing that I was talking about when presenting the medium-term financial plan. If we are to maintain and enhance services, we need to look at new and exciting delivery methods. This is a very new, a very exciting delivery method, and I can't wait to see it come forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. There are no other indications from anybody wishing to speak, so I would now like to move you to the recommendations on page 41 at 1. And just let you know now, for the housekeeping, as it were, there's a minor amendment to the recommendations at 1(1), which I will propose to read. That the contract to operate and maintain the District Council's 5 leisure centres at Applemore, Lymington, New Milton, Ringwood and Totton be awarded to Wilden Leisure Limited, trading as Freedom Leisure, to commence on the 1st of July 2021 for an 11-year period with an option to extend for a further 4 years. Okay, so can I just do the usual, and after any Cabinet wishes to vote against that recommendation? And you better not, after all that praise. Okay, thank you. It's really a great moment for New Forest District Council. Thank you all very much. Okay, so we don't need the additional item that is on the agenda. So I would like to thank you all for coming to the Cabinet meeting this morning. See you at full council next week. Please keep safe and well.
Thank you, Chairman.